In 1716, in The Cobbler of Preston, Christopher Bullock wrote, "'Tis impossible to be sure of anything but death and taxes." And this game has both of these things, and monkeys. I'm Rob from JTRpodcast.com. I'm going to show you how to play Paper Tales. This is a game for 2 to 5 players, plays in about 30 minutes, is designed by Matsuo Usugi, and is published by Catch Up Games. You will build a kingdom of buildings and creatures from the fantastical to the normal. Use their abilities, income and strength in war before they succumb to the passing of time to score the most legend points and win the game. For setup, players get 3 coins, a set of 5 buildings and a help sheet in their colour. Players place a pawn on 0 legend points and put the time token on age 1. Shuffle all the unit cards into one big deck. Now, gameplay is 4 rounds consisting of 6 phases, and there's just one important rule before I want to get to the rest of the game. If there's ever 2 cards that are going to activate at the same time, priority goes to the player who has the fewest legend points. Phase 1 is recruitment. Each player gets 5 cards from the unit deck, and all 5 cards are drafted in the direction of the current round, which in round 1 is clockwise. Phase 2 is deployment. Players use units from their hand into the kingdom face down. A kingdom has 4 spaces, 2 in the front and 2 in the back, and future rounds during this phase, any existing units can be freely moved to a different spot or simply discarded. When complete, players reveal and pay the gold cost for any newly deployed unit. And if the gold cost can't be played, the unit is discarded instead. Also, any come into play effects will trigger now. For example, when Veteran comes into play, put one of these aging tokens on Veteran. Phase 3 is where the war will take place. Players total the shield strength on the units on the front row of the kingdom. For example, if Veteran and Peddler are on the front row, their strength is 4. Players can use abilities of units and buildings that have a war icon. For example, Commander gives you an extra legend point for each war you win. Players score 3 legend points for each adjacent player they beat or match in strength, which means if there's a tie, both players will score 3 points. Phase 4 is income, where players gain 2 gold plus any income from other units or buildings. For example, Peddler gives you 1 gold. Phase 5 is construction, and players can choose one of 2 options, that they can either build a new building or upgrade an existing one. To construct a building, have the relevant resources on level 1 available to you from the cards in your kingdom and put the building into play on the level 1 side. For example, the town costs 1 wood to build and the woodcutter provides 1 wood. A building can be constructed onto the level 2 side immediately by paying both the level 1 and level 2 cost. There is also a land cost. A player must pay 2 gold for each existing building in their play area. To upgrade an existing level 1 building, simply pay the level 2 cost and flip the building over. Each level 2 building allows you to have 5 slots in your kingdom with 3 on the front row. Players can also activate abilities on cards with the construction icon. For example, Landlord lets you ignore land costs. Phase 6 is aging. Discard any unit with an age token on them and add an age token to each unit in the kingdom. Also activate abilities with the aging icon. For example, Monkey gives you 1 gold for each aging token on it when it dies. Move the time token and start a new round. And the game ends after 4 rounds, and players add legend points for the buildings that they've built. Level 1 buildings are worth 1 legend point and level 2 buildings are 3 legend points. Add any endgame scoring from units, and the player with the most legend points wins. Ties are broken by the player with the most gold. And that's Paper Tales, a card drafting tableau building game. Please like this video if you found it useful, share it to let others know about it, and subscribe to the channel for more how to play videos as well as other board game related content. You can find me on Twitter at JTR Podcast, and find my blog and podcast at jtrpodcast.com. I've been Rob, aka Jester the Rogue. Until next time, keep on paying taxes and waiting to die. That was depressing.